Rangers win, baby, 6-2 over the Carolina Hurricanes. And this was a very, 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 very ugly game. But the Rangers end up getting the 2 points. And you know what? I'm not going to complain at all right now because of the fact that they did. This is a game that they desperately needed the 2 points. And the fact that they came away with it is just absolutely absurd to me. And wow. Just wow. And you know what? There's certain things that you got to give credit to in this game, which we will. You got to give credit to Gerard Gallant's coaching. You got to give credit to the Rangers as a whole. You got to give credit. You got to give credit at points in this game to certain personnel, if you will, of this team, because this was bonkers. This was bonkers. I cannot believe that they won this game. Before we jump further into it, though, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video next. But let's talk about the game, because there is so much to talk about with this one. And it was a very fast-paced game from the jump. Carolina got a lot of good scoring chances, way too many, in my opinion. And I thought that it was definitely a very ugly start for the Rangers, and Carolina got way too many chances, got way too comfortable early on in the game, and they set the pace, they set the tempo of the game, which I didn't like either. I wanted the Rangers to try to go out there, and they set the pace of the game, and they send a message, and they control the game. But unfortunately, again, that was not the case. Rangers wouldn't get really a good scoring opportunity until Fox hit the crossbar later on, and then in that same sequence, Chatfield went off for interference during the Rangers' entire cycle there, and the Rangers would end up scoring on the power play. And Mika Zibanejad, he misses on the first chance that he got from the cross crease pass from Kreider, buried the second one, roofs it. Artemi Panarin with the assist as well. That made it 1-0, and the Rangers started to put some pressure on towards the end of the period, and they looked pretty good 5v5, I thought, towards the end. Mika went off for tripping, but towards the end of the period, but again, really bad start for the Rangers for that period, but later on, they definitely looked a lot better as it progressed. That is for sure. They definitely looked better. But shots in the first were 13-9 in favor of Carolina. Not something that you like to see. Second period, this was a nightmare of a second period, though. Rangers start off by finishing the penalty kill. Trocheck got 2 great chances, and he couldn't bury either. And then Carolina would end up scoring as Teravainen just threw one on net, and it goes off Keandre Miller and in. This was weird in general too, which we'll talk about more what my thought is later on. But Mika Panarin got a 2-on-1 after that, and Panarin fired wide on that one. And then Carolina would end up scoring not too long after as the puck went off Jacob Trouba in front of the net. And then Kakaniemi couldn't score on the first chance, gets the rebound, it goes off Barclay Goodrow, and in. That made it a 2-1 game. So there you go. And it felt like it was going to be a difficult comeback. It felt like mission impossible. Carolina was just pressuring all period long. Nate just got a breakaway opportunity. Halak came up with a big save there. Definitely a game-changing save. And the Rangers end up switching up the lines, which, shocking, I know, right? Gallant switching up the lines. He would never do that. So Kreider and Panarin swap places. Kreider ended up being on the left side there of Zibanejad and Tarasenko, and then Panarin was on the left side of Trocheck and VC. I don't know why I blanked for a minute there, but regardless, Rangers would end up scoring after the line change. They scored. VC got the turnover there in the neutral zone, and then Trocheck, he gets the puck there, and he gives it over to Panarin. Panarin just with a snipe, and that tied the game at 2. The Vladimir Tarasenko effect with shooting the puck more, right? But yeah, that was probably one of the worst periods I've seen the Rangers play, and yet they still end up having the game tied. This sport doesn't make sense, right? It really doesn't. Shots were 12-4 in favor of the Canes that period. Just ugly. Third period comes around, and the Rangers definitely looked a lot better as they ended up scoring early in the third period. Schneider threw one on goal off a great feed from Trocheck, and Panarin got the rebound opportunity, and he ended up burying that one. So Panarin from Schneider and Trocheck, and it's a 3-2 game. VC then got a breakaway opportunity that got denied. Halak makes a great save on Sebastian Aho. Panarin goes off for hooking. Stressful penalty kill. Rangers kill that off, thankfully. And then the Rangers would end up scoring afterwards as Keandre Miller makes this was an unreal defensive play by Keandre Miller to force a turnover there. And it set up Artemi Panarin for a breakaway, and he ended up scoring. Hallelujah, he scored on a breakaway. It's a 4-2 game. And then Kakko would get the empty netter after that from Lafreniere and Trouba. And then the Rangers would again make it 6-2 as they just continue to pounce on them. Panarin, VC, and Trocheck, just a strong board battle win there. Great work by all of them. VC ends up getting the puck from that turnover there, finds Panarin in the middle, and Panarin buries that opportunity to make it a 6-2 game. And that was all she wrote there. Rangers end up winning the game 6-2. And it's weird because the Rangers got absolutely dominated in this game, and yet they still come out with the 2 points. And yet the goals that they allowed weren't even really that great of goals. I mean, they were lucky bounces. And yeah, you might want to chalk up. I know people are going to say, well, a lot of Carolina shots were just a lot of soft, weak shots. They were just throwing everything on goal. Sure, but I don't know. It still felt like Carolina controlled the play most of the time. And yeah, again, they somehow win this game. The sport doesn't make sense to me. But shots in the game were 29-19 in favor of the Canes. Face off 44-57 in favor of the Canes. Power play went 1-for-1, which is nice to see. 0-for-2 for the Canes. There was a lot of missed calls in this game on both ends of the thing, so that was interesting. Hits were 29-23 in favor of the Canes. Block shots 15-8 in favor of the Rangers, and 19 turnovers apiece, which is, yeah, definitely interesting that there was that many turnovers in the game. That is for sure. So, especially from Carolina, they usually never turn the puck over, really. But I think that's what the Rangers did to beat them last time, if I'm not mistaken. They forced a good amount of turnovers, and that helped them beat Carolina the first time around. So, there you go. There you go. But, wow. Just looking at the score sheet, seeing Panarin with 5 points on the night. But, yeah, let's talk about the lines. Let's talk about the lines right now. So we're going to talk about from the line changes, because Gallant, you got to give credit to him for changing the lines and getting it to work. Because after he switched it, Kreider, Zibanejad, and Tarasenko, they looked pretty good tonight. Tarasenko, definitely more of a quiet night. Under 14 minutes again for him tonight. I don't understand why he's not getting a lot of ice time. I think that it's ridiculous, but whatever. But Tarasenko, definitely a quiet night. But he did have a couple of nice plays that I thought were kind of underrated during the game. But again, definitely more of a quiet night from him. Kreider had an okay night, had a point tonight. Definitely turned the puck over a bit too much, though, at times in this game. But still not a bad night. And then Zibanejad had 35% in the faceoff dot. Yikes there. But he ended up getting the power play goal. And he didn't have an awful night. Made a couple of nice defensive plays here and there as well. So I'm okay with that line. The second line, though, when Panarin joined it, great game for that second line. Panarin was great. 4 bingos for him on the night. Got a point, or got an apple, I should say, for 5 points. 5 shots on goal for him. He was absolutely ridiculous tonight and was on a warpath. Panarin had a great game, and he was easily the star of the show outside of Yaroslav Halak, I thought. So, yeah, really great game for Artemi Panarin. So, gotta give credit there. And then for Trocheck, he had a great game as well. Back-to-back nights with great games for Vinny Trocheck, which is huge for him. 50% in the faceoff dot. 2 points for him on the night. He was great. Vinny Trocheck was great. He was flying up and down the ice. Him and VC both looked great defensively. VC had 2 points on the night as well. Threw a couple hits, too. I thought that line was great, and they were doing it defensively as well. I think that's a line that could stick for a bit. I really do. That was a beautiful line to watch tonight. Definitely was. And then the kid line, definitely more of a quiet night for them tonight, but they were still pretty decent for the most part. Lafreniere had an okay night. Same goes for Kakko and Hedl. Definitely, like I said, just a quiet night for the line altogether, but not terrible. Fourth line, lol, they were awful. Lecision needs to be out of the lineup. He did nothing but win faceoffs for them. That's really about it for anything that he did effectively. So, Yeah, that's all that I really have to say about that. And then the defense, Lindgren and Fox were pretty solid tonight. I'm trying to think if they really had any defensive mistakes, but none really come to mind in particular, though. I mean, yeah, I can't really think of any, and it was weird. Fox with no points on the night. That's definitely out of character for Adam Fox, but it is what it is. And then Miller and Trouba, they were pretty solid tonight. I thought Trouba had a couple nice defensive plays, and that play Keandre Miller made to set up Artemi Panarin for the breakaway, beautiful play. And then Schneider and Mikkola. Schneider definitely had a up and down game tonight. There was shifts where he looked absolutely awful, turning the puck over way too much, and he definitely looked a bit shaky at times, but still was okay. And then Mikkola, definitely a better second game for him. Way better second game than his first game. And then Yaroslav Halak was the star of the show outside of Artemi Panarin with a lot of big saves. Very happy with what I saw from Yaroslav Halak. And there's questions about him playing the Carolina Hurricanes on a back-to-back. And wow, did he shut the critics up? And did he shut the critics up? All right. Definitely could have got a shutout. And it was just some weird goals. It was some weird goals, but he could have got the shutout very easily tonight. But yeah, definitely big. 5 straight wins now as we head into a little bit of a break here until they go to Vancouver and start their West Coast Canadian road trip there with Vancouver, Edmonton, and Calgary. So going to be interesting to see what happens there. But wow. All I could say is wow. 70 points now on the season. Cannot believe they won that game. Would be huge if New Jersey loses tonight, but we'll see about that. Well, let's get to Twitter to see what you guys have to say about this game. New York Fugazi fan says that might be the craziest game I've ever been to. Yeah, that was a crazy game to go to if you were there. That was a crazy game. Must have been stressful. I would have been biting my nails the entire time in my seats there. But definitely great that they ended up picking up the win for you while you were in attendance. And for anyone else that was in attendance, great for them to get the win there. Kazoo says, even though the kid line wasn't great today, they get into the offensive zone. You always feel something good is going to happen. They got it started for the Rangers. What a win. We'll burn that second period, though. Completely agree with everything that you said, especially the second period. You burned the tape on that because that was just absolutely ugly, and you need to be better. But outside of that, hey, they weren't necessarily awful tonight. They weren't necessarily awful. I thought the third period was very solid, especially limiting Carolina to 4 shots on goal. That is just great. That is just great. And the kid line, you're right. You're right about the kid line. They had a down game, but they still weren't necessarily awful. So, and the Marv Zone says, this team is awesome. Keep Panarin online too. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And he said, when you think about, we scored all 8 goals tonight. Yeah, that's the other thing. They did score all 8. New York Style 24 says, what a win. Yeah. What a win. No, I should say what a win, but I should say what a steal of 2 points, because that was nice. Thomas says, Boston will be the true test, trust me. Oh, yes. Yeah, they will. Yes, they will. I am not denying that. Boston will be the true test, and they got to be prepared when they play Boston next, because you can't have an effort like this against a team like Boston. You need to be better than what you were tonight. You can't take shifts off. You can't take periods off. You need to be better than that against a team like Boston. And it made me wonder after tonight, are we overrating Carolina a bit? Are we? Because the Rangers did not play their best, and they still got the 2 points. Are we overrating Carolina, or is this just a weird night for them? Canes fans might have the answer to that for me, but not too sure. Zalo says that second period was one of the worst I've seen in a while. Gallant actually did a good job changing the lines mid-game. Wasn't expecting that outcome, but we won. Let's go Rangers. Yeah, you got to give credit to Gallant with that line change. You have to. It was huge, and it got the team going. It got the team going for sure. Again, the only gripe that I have is that I would have liked for that first line to have got more ice time. I think Tarasenko getting less than 14 minutes is an absolute crime. So that's the one thing that I'd like to see different about that next game. But still, it is what it is there. It is what it is. And yeah, the second period was definitely abysmal. You're not wrong. And then Luke says, I think the mid-game line change by Gallant was really good tonight. They were able to avoid Carolina's game of matchups, and it showed with Panarin's performance. That was a big statement win for the Rangers. Carolina's 6-2 or 6-2 their stomach. 6 to their stomach. I just picked that up. I don't know why it took a minute to pick that up, but yeah, definitely a statement to show we're here, to show that we're around. And yeah, credit to Gallant. Credit to Gallant tonight after I was bashing him on the podcast earlier, which, by the way, go listen to the podcast from earlier. It was definitely still a quality episode. So that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. Remember to leave a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video next. And I will see you guys in the next one. Let's go, Rangers.